I think we should probably start the meeting, even though we don't really have many people, but we have 3 of us. And so I think you can go ahead. Thanks, Sean. All right, welcome to the Energy Committee meeting. We have 3 people on the Zoom, and the recording is going, so Neat TV, there could be people watching through Neat TV. I don't really know that. So let's begin. So first of all, Matt Sharp let me know that the Efficiency Vermont incentives are, they're just for the summer unless there's money left over. And those incentives are for moderate income Vermonters. Can get a rebate 75%, up to 75% of their weatherization project that has a cost up to $5,500. And there's financing at 0%. And the first 6 months are paid for by Efficiency Vermont up to $900. And this incentive expires August 31st. So this is a time for people to really jump on board a weatherization project if they want to really get great incentives. And then in September there'll be more incentives, but it seems like this is the highest they'd expect to have. You know, it's especially high right now. And people can contact Efficiency Vermont to get more information if they want. There are various income levels and stuff, but the main one is for moderate income level. Mm-hmm. Any questions on that, or does anyone know anything more that they'd like to share about that?
Yeah, I'm just looking at
pretty attractive offer.
Yeah, it's a very attractive offer.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
This is what Matt told me last month, and I put out an email and he hasn't responded, so I don't think there's any change. And what he told me here is what would be what's up right now.
I'm looking at the Efficiency Vermont website, and they don't seem to have these summer rebates on it. I don't know what the.
I know. I totally searched for that a couple days ago myself and couldn't find that. So I'm kind of surprised. It seems like they'd want to have that in big letters for people to hear about it.
Maybe
I
this
think
is
there's a lag time with that website. I usually find that I've got to call to get the information that I need rather than find it on the web.
Yeah,
well, then I would suggest people give a call and ask about it if they're interested, because it's definitely great deals, and seems like a chunk of money to be spent this summer. And so we might as well go right into button up. That's the next thing on the agenda. And the plans for the fall, according to Becca, who did a webinar a week or so ago, this year there are going to be virtual home energy visits by Efficiency Vermont. And they're going to start in January of 2021. So it'll be a while before those people actually get any kind of look through their home. And as the Energy Committee, will be sharing information about that this fall, and helping people sign up for that if they want. We'll also be coordinating with Addison County Regional Planning Commission regarding various presenters to let people know about Button Up, and also putting out testimony from people who've had a good experience doing weatherization. Those will be idea. Yeah. So again, more online stuff. And Andrew at the Addison County Regional Planning Commission has been presentations and stuff, and he'll be, I think it will be him organizing the fall as well. So we can work with him. We could either well, we'll just figure out how we can coordinate with the Addison County Regional Planning, because they are more involved this year in button up than they have been before. And they're a great partner for that kind of thing.
Yeah, they really are.
Yeah. One of the things that is going to be happening during the fall is called Weatherization Wednesdays. And that's a short weekly inspirational video or some sort of presentation about button up and about weatherization, and just something that's kind of fun and interesting to watch once a week, to 20 minutes maybe max, just so people can, check it out. Maybe we could put it on Front Porch Forum, or maybe people can get access to it in some way on a regular basis. Sign up for that. We can let people know about that. Sign up.
We know when that's starting?
Definitely not till September, and I'm not sure how early in the fall it'll start up.
Okay.
And then there'll be different incentives for projects, and those will start in the fall, and I don't know exactly when those will start, but they'll be different than what the summer incentives are.
More heat related, perhaps.
What did you say, John? Would heat related?
Heat related incentives like pellet stoves.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Right.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't ask if anyone had anything else for the agenda. Does anyone have anything?
No, it's
Okay.
fine with me. We could just mention that TCI is in limbo.
Okay.
I guess
The
that's all we have to
Transportation Climate Initiative.
Yeah, it's just.
Tim Ash is saying that he's going to try to bring it back in August. You did read that the governor signed a compact with a whole bunch of states to incentivize electrification of large trucks and buses 100% by 2050. I don't know. Have you seen that?
I have not seen
Oh
that.
no, that's good. Wonderful.
Yeah, it was just announced this week. It's a bunch of northeastern states and California. And I think I plan to actually write the governor a letter rather than calling, just thanking him for engaging in this and expressing the hope that as we move forward, we accelerate. 2050 is a long time, but at least they're going in the right direction.
That's great.
Yeah.
Thanks for that news.
Yeah.
One of the things that I didn't put on the agenda, I'd like to just mention is the Champlain Valley Climate and Energy Guide is something that's being put together by the Climate Economy Action Coalition and the Acorn Energy Co-op. And they're putting together just resources for people in this area, in the Champlain Valley, for renewable energy and that kind of thing. And so they're having people fill out a survey in order to be listed. And I went ahead and filled out one for the Bristol Energy Committee. And so it's for nonprofits and businesses, anyone about energy, renewable energy. So I thought it would be good to just ask you both, who else should be on there? Like, they asked me as the chair to send it out to other people. And, I think of Bristol Electronics, maybe other energy committees in the area, that kind of thing. Do you have any thoughts on who else I could share it with to begin there in the guide?
I know.
I could suggest.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, John. Go ahead.
All right. Thank you. I could suggest Bob Donis.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure. I think you have to be I think it has to be a business or organization, doesn't it?
Right.
I don't think it's individuals.
I think that's
Oh.
true, right? But Bob would be great for testimony. He's got a great testimony for us to share with people in the fall around button-up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can ask if they're looking for any testimonies in there. So
Yeah,
maybe they are.
Oh,
good idea.
good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've Vermont Interfaith Power and Light registered, but it's much more targeted to purveyors of things, resources.
Okay. All right.
It's good. It's good. Good
That's
effort.
good. It's good to know. Great.
Nice. We could suggest Senator Bray.
Well, Senator Bray came through for us on the Climate Solutions Act.
Gosh, he did. He did. And we've thanked him immensely.
That was a tough job, and now we'll see what the governor wants to do with it when they get back in August and finish it up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with how it moved along and changed and was rewritten, and a lot of great work went into that.
Yeah, I think he told me on an email that at the last there was about 20 hours of work on it, which is a lot in legislative time.
True that. With
it
virtually no staff.
Yeah. Right.
A very complex piece of legislation. That there's a matrix that describes the step by step to get your suit before the judge. It's no light lift, I'll tell you.
Well, I think that's something that some of the people who were concerned about the lawsuit aspect really insisted on, that it wouldn't be easy.
Yeah.
They didn't want frivolous stuff.
Well, true that. Yeah.
I agree.
But you got to have deep pockets. You've got to have some deep pockets to bring something forth.
Yeah.
That's
not great.
Hopefully the idea is that no one will really have to do that. It's just done well, and no one will have to do that.
Well, it's almost certain we're not going to hit our targets. And that's where it starts,
Yeah.
So, there's a lot
although,
more to do.
Richard, I say it's worth reflecting on what the next several years of energy demand in Vermont will be. It might be that because so many people are spending so much time at home, they're actually using more electricity than if they were in an office. But those are numbers that the state can provide if you really dig. What's the the first 6 months of 2020 emissions, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll take a look at that. I will.
Yeah, that'd be good.
That's great.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Thanks, John.
All
That's
right.
awesome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I want to move on. We don't have any window dressers update. I was putting it here thinking Stephen would be here, but so I think that basically the update is window dressers is not happening.
Right.
That's basically what's going to happen. Carl was going to check into the library, but I don't think that is going to happen. I don't think he could have even asked because the library hadn't had another meeting until after this meeting. So I have a feeling we're not doing window dressers, but if we are, we'll find out later. So then I think I put 2 number 4s on by mistake, but the first was Think Resilience, the online course by Post Carbon Institute. I really enjoyed watching the parts I've watched, but I still haven't finished watching the whole course. And there are so many great videos showing the history of energy and how energy is our main driver for so much. And I think it would be great public education, but it doesn't really feel like the time in the summer to be, hanging out watching videos as much. So I'll continue to finish watching it, and if anyone else wants to watch bits of it, go for it. And then in the fall, maybe we'll put it out on Front Porch Forum so people can learn more about energy and stuff like that. It could be part of, around button up and stuff. It might be interesting, or depending on legislation, it might just be interesting background for people to understand more about energy and, the need to get off of fossil fuel and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of good, good stuff.
So the other.
No, go ahead.
Oh, no, go for it. I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay. Well, we keep running into one webinar or film after another. And the big question is always, how do we engage people? Every organization that I belong to asks that question. The Sierra Zoom Wednesdays, there's another one tonight at 8. We're lucky if we get 25 people through the whole state. So that's great and enjoyable, but you wonder, how are we going to get people to engage in this hypercritical issue?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, we just have to keep on bringing up these things, these opportunities. I think it can be tiring for those who are organizing, but it takes people a while to listen in. So we'll see. Keep trying. Maybe we need to post things more.
Yeah.
Because I have looked at the ones that I couldn't make of the Sierra Club's things, and there are a lot of great webinars, and it would be great to just post those so other people.
You say post them on Front Porch Forum?
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
That's a good idea.
Oh, yeah.
I could do that for Sierra since I'm kind of tied in.
Very good.
Yeah, I'll do that.
That's great.
With a link, with a web page link, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I'll start doing that.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
I'll move on to the next one, which is V-Bike. And I saw that webinar recently about the group V-Bike is a nonprofit founded by Dan Cohen. They're all about shifting the bike culture to a more inclusive and transportation-oriented future. Dan himself offers free consultations for anyone who's looking for an e-bike or cargo bike. And those e-bikes really expand the range and carrying capacity and hill climbing ease and comfort and general utility of biking. V-Bike aims to make the bicycle more relevant and affordable for Vermonters, and to encourage more, healthier bodies, living locally, and vibrant communities. So that's it's like talking about electric cars. It's an option for lowering cost and lowering energy use and lowering emissions. So it's worth putting that info out as we find it.
Yep. We also have to lobby for bike lanes.
Yes. And I think that
that's the challenge.
Yeah.
I mean, widening bike lanes yes, in the long term, that would be an objective, but in the short term, we don't have that money.
No. Although, I think one of the things that I'm running into with the organization's kind of different organizations that I'm involved in is we're all coming to the conclusion that the only way we're going to get out of this thing is by putting together the concept of a comprehensive Green New Deal type package that addresses not just climate change, but health insurance, family leave, minimum wage, that we begin to reorganize everything so that it begins to benefit really the people instead of the people at the very top who you all know the figures of the growth of income of people in the top 1% versus everybody else. And so there are definitely resources that can be mined to put together a comprehensive package that will benefit everybody. And a real big part of it for us is, as an energy committee, I think, is to really specify whenever we talk about good, clean, sustainable jobs for people.
Yeah. In fact, I'm sorry.
No.
Did you have more, Richard?
No, that's it.
Good. Reading in Vermont Digger just 2 days ago, about 1/3 of the dollars that are generated in the state's GNP are tourist dollars, 1/3. And there's something like 35,000 jobs in Vermont related to the hospitality industry, i.e. tourism. And if we lose that kind of revenue for the long term, and we don't know what really we're going to be looking at in 2021, July. I mean, we may still be talking about lockdowns. Yeah. It may be that more people should be getting involved in the discussion with the legislators certainly, but also in the governor's office about how to start using even government-owned and company-operated industries where the state of Vermont could be manufacturing electric bicycles. I mean, why not? Mm. That's the kind of thinking. That's the kind of thinking that's going to get people to say, yes, now we're really looking at how the state can borrow money to actually create an industry that's going to create jobs, that's going to help the state move towards its climate change goal, but increase the GNP.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
I mean, we're importing solar panels from China. Well, good. You know, and the 7 or 8 companies that are installing them, employing a few people, but it's not a tantalizing idea to just sort of go with what we're used to. We have to start thinking out of the box. And I think government-owned and company-operated, or GOCOs as they're called, and that's a state of the art, would be the way for the state of Vermont to grab hold of a part of the market.
I'm wondering if we could turn our state prisons into really state-of-the-art job training and production centers. Why couldn't they be making e-bikes?
Yeah,
and
right.
Learning a craft.
Yeah,
I agree. I brought to Representative Campbell that idea that if we're having difficulties finding enough workers to do weatherization, look to the correction system as well as the treatment facilities for dependence, drug dependence, and those are the people who, when they get out, are going to have a hell of a time finding a job. Right. So train them and then bring them right into the workforce when they're ready.
Yeah.
He loved the idea, and it kind of bumped along for a while. I don't know that it really has become programmatic, but I know, having talked with some of the weatherization partners, the 5 weatherization partners under WAP, they are actually reaching out to institutions such as those. So I guess the idea, it has legs, yes.
That's great. That's the kind of innovative thinking we've got to do right now. We need huge system change. It's not just trying to patch what we've got together, because what we've been doing is not working. It's just causing more divide and, income inequality and all that. So we really need to think outside the box. You're right.
And that also that could be a very good.
Let's move along. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say it also ties in very much with racial inequities, people of color, Native Americans, and so on, people who are traditionally left behind could be incentivized.
Yeah.
So,
great.
Well, I'm trying to think of what kind of umbrella organization might be the host to put some of these candidates forward. Because I think if you're just appealing to, we're looking to hire Native Americans, I think people would run that into court quickly.
Well, you wouldn't go about it that way. You'd provide specialized training available to people who are in need of it, regardless of the color or racial identity.
Yeah.
Open to
it's
all.
not like
Open
we're
to all.
yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely. It's not like we think you should do this.
Right.
It's like whoever wants to, this is what's available. Yeah.
There's a very interesting book. There's a very interesting book I'm reading called The Debt that deals with ways in which society can begin to address the terrible racial history of this country, and ends up in discussing reparations. It's pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sounds excellent. That's a big.
And the title, Richard?
It's called The Debt. I'll grab it and give you the author's name.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, sir. Good. Okay.
Yeah. Have you been reading any good books lately, John? I know that we're on a meeting right now, but I'm just waiting until he gets back.
I can tell you, my mind is so clouded with the ominous feeling about the future.
Me
that,
too.
I've lost interest in reading. I'm spending more time with CNN than I have with a book since end of February. It troubles me, but nonetheless, I just don't seem to have the patience to read a book. I have more interest in what's it gonna look like.
Well, I mean, I agree, and it's books like what he's about to show me that are the kind of things I'm talking about.
It's called The Debt, and it's by Randall Robinson, and it was written in 2000, which is really, really interesting because he was at that time really hoping for what's happening now. Very heightened interest and enthusiasm among many people, white and of color, to address some of these issues. But he goes into the problem that African American people particularly face, having been dragged out of their culture, separated from it. You know, we as Westerners can go back to, you know, the kings and queens and so on. African Americans can go back to Egypt and Mesopotamia. They had phenomenal cultures in Africa, particularly. And yet that's all been wrenched away from them. They had most, according to Robinson, have no concept of that, have no pride in it. And we've done that to them. We tore them out of their culture. And it's really a tragedy. I had to buy this used on eBay because it's out of print, I guess. You can get hard copy for $30. I got this for $4.97. But it's a good book. It says What America Owes to Blacks.
Yeah.
And to me, it's all tied together. We can address this all with a resilient economy. It just makes so much sense to put it all together.
A worker-owned economy.
I really agree.
Yep.
I didn't hear what you said, John. What did you say?
A worker-owned economy, with the employees or the shareholders. Good God, that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I really feel like the normal systems that we've had in place needed to break down in order to move to something new. So, you know, we got a lot of work to do, but I think it is only, you know, we couldn't have kept going the other way because it was not going to work. So, you know, we got to move forward and be really innovative.
That's an excellent point, Sally. It's true. We now have a fairly clean sheet to turn to.
Yeah.
We would not be hearing the kind of talk now coming out of the Democratic campaign if everything hadn't come to a head.
Yeah.
So there are opportunities now.
Yeah.
Let's take what we can get.
Starts in November.
I'm still worried that we've already lost it in terms of the environment.
Yeah.
That's what gives me great dark moments when I think about my grandkids.
Yeah.
And the life that they're going to be looking at.
Yeah.
Because the tipping points, I think, have already been reached.
Yeah. But I'm not going to.
2020 is already shaping up to be the warmest year on record in 2020.
Yeah. And once the
trend line.
Once the Arctic starts pumping out methane, boy.
Oh gosh, yes. Even bursting out the Clath rates.
Yep.
Yeah, the big under the sea gas deposits. Are we still on the agenda?
And
no.
Well, this will seem small after what we've been talking about, the big loss of methane and everything. But one thing I wanted to talk about just a little bit was the landscaping options. And there's, we could talk about landscaping with electric powered things. Have you heard of the company Bear Mountain Mowing? They're in this area doing residential lawns and also the Brandon, Middlebury area. And, they're using just electric mowers and trimmers and edgers and blowers. They do residential and commercial. And let's see, the guy's name is Jay. I don't know what his last name is right now, but anyway, Bear Mountain Mowing. And I just think that there are a lot of benefits to starting to think about doing municipal things or more residential or more commercial, and trying to maybe learn more and then educate people somehow. And maybe I can work with Bear Mountain Mowing, or we could work with them and see if they have information to share. And certainly look at their website and see some stuff.
Are you saying Fair Mountain or Bear Mountain, Sally?
Bear, like a big bear.
Okay.
Bear. Yeah.
Okay.
We've got them here.
Yeah.
Yeah, look it up. Go Bear.
They're just, and so that's one, is kind of going electric with some of that. And the other is another energy committee, or more than one, have kind of worked on a campaign for just doing less mowing, encouraging less mowing. And especially during the drought, it's handy to do less mowing. Also, it's great for increasing pollinator forage by not mowing as much, letting clover bloom a little bit and other things. And certainly some of the benefits are, reduced cost, reduced emissions, and reduced noise by using electric rather than gas powered. And then, the emissions, are crazy. So just seems like learning some more facts and being able to share that information, and then share what's available for electric options for residents and commercial, and we're just looking into it in some way so that we have some information to share with the community. So more people might be more ready to move in that direction. I don't know.
I wonder, should we break it down somehow and each of us take a piece and maybe work on a report that could be disseminated, announced on Front Porch Forum, but disseminated through some kind of maybe through our website, of the options that are available for people right now. There's so much more. When I bought my first electric lawnmower, there were really only two available, Black & Decker and Newton. And now, boy, there's some big actors, Ryobi and companies like that, that are producing them. And I suspect they're much better than the Black & Decker that I have. But, and the same thing, string trimmers, and, it's a no-brainer. It's no gas, no oil, low maintenance.
Yep, quiet.
Yeah. I like
a friend of mine got one that, go ahead.
Well, I just like the fact that a person of a certain age, as I am, I like the fact that the battery runs out. I can go sit down. A gas mower, I didn't have that excuse.
I'm thinking that
maybe
probably
just for nostalgia's sake.
There are people who.
Sorry.
Go ahead, John.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't want to cut you off, Sally.
This is Zoom. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to say maybe we could bring back the memory of the push mower. If you use a push mower frequently, it's really an easy tool to mow a big lawn. But you can't go maybe 2 months of grass. You couldn't do that with a push mower. But a push mower may, for some people, be an antique, but it may, in fact, need some respect.
I think for small lawns particularly, it's crazy to have, spend $300-400 on a mower.
Yeah.
Depends on your health too. Your
sure, of course. Yeah. But my son is 32, and he can use a push mower and do our whole yard, and it's big.
Send him over.
Yeah.
Oh. No, we cannot do any off property. We anyway, but push more there.
Yeah, I think that's great. Push more, and if it grows too long, then a scythe or one of those little grass things that they have at Mons. What I think would be good for us is to find someone who already knows a lot about this and invite them as a presenter
Yeah,
or
good idea.
something like that.
Good idea.
I think that would be good. Get someone who already knows all this. And I could check in with the Champlain Valley compost guy, whose name I'm forgetting right now, but he actually sells electric mowing machines as well as electric snow blowers and stuff like that. So he might know more about where to find information. But we any of us could, look into, or all of us could look into who might know more about that. Fish around and see if we can
Okay.
find, even through I don't know really. Maybe VCAN put it out on the energy committee. I haven't really been piping into lately, but they might know something about who would know about that stuff.
Yeah, are you saying perhaps one of a landscape company that relies upon electric equipment? Is that what you're looking for? But you already mentioned one, didn't you?
Well, I certainly, I know one. Yeah, I think definitely Bear Mountain would be great, and I'll talk with him. I actually have his phone number that someone just gave me, so I'll call him and see what I can find from him, and maybe
That'd
he'd
be
come on and
interesting.
share some of the stuff he knows. Yeah.
Sure. I'd love to know what is the total acreage of lawns in Bristol. I would imagine it's over 100 acres.
Yeah.
I mean,
right.
when you see some of the yards that go way back, I mean that's several acres of grass. Crazy.
So, you
Just
talk,
let it grow.
If you
talk about innovative ideas. I mean, you could even have, like say on my street from all of East Street, could own one mower and share it. One good electric mower, and you'd sign up for a day, or you subscribe as a group to a service, and they just come and buzz the lawns. I mean, I'll get to that point where I'm going to need that.
I see. And who's going to sharpen the blade?
I think that's a great idea.
Very good.
Well, y'all chip in $2 for the whole neighborhood, and that gets sharpened by some professional.
Well, it's
I think that's a great idea. Sharing.
It's like ride sharing and e-bikes and all that kind of stuff. Blue bikes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've got power tools in my shop that, some of them are 50 years old and they probably don't have 15 hours on them.
Yeah, that's another way of saving energy.
Yeah.
Certainly, it's sharing, because not as many things have to be built and manufactured.
Yeah.
Well,
Sally, I'm coming to a place where I'm being called for a family task. I may have to say good night, but you do have my vote.
I feel like we should end the meeting because. Yeah.
Then
okay,
I've got a few more minutes. Yes.
I was just going to say that I think it would be good to end because there's that Sierra anyway, and we're at the end of our agenda.
Yeah.
What do you think, Richard?
I agree. Yeah, I'm going to second that. I'm going to join the Sierra meeting, and John has to decide whether he wants to do the family task or claim that there's something more important.
Right.
Family comes first, Richard.
Okay.
The golden rule. Okay. Right. Well, enjoy this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks very much. And Sean, thank you for recording the meeting. Good night.
Good to see
Good
everyone.
night. Take care.
Yeah, good to see you too.
All set, Sally. Have a good night.
Okay, thanks, Sean. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.